everyone. Thank you for your presence here today. I'm delighted to be here to talk about the subject that I like so much, and I hope you all are going to enjoy this presentation as much as I do. The topic of our chat today will be LinkedIn strategies, how to stand out in the largest professional network in the world. And to start with, I'm just going to give you a bit of a background on myself. I was born and raised in Brazil, where I spent the last 13 years living abroad, learning about different cultures, exploring, living outside of my comfort zone. My first stop was in Ireland, where I went to do a language exchange back in 2010. And then in 2013, I've done my MBA in International Business Management, also there. I had the opportunity to work in different countries, like Brazil, obviously, Ireland, Portugal, Germany, Thailand, and Ukraine. And I collect memories from 36 countries, which I had the pleasure to visit during my travels. In 2014, I had my first job in an international company, which was in Dublin, and it was my first experience with international recruitment. And then in 2015, I traveled to Thailand to volunteer and teach English for kids in a Muslim school. I spent some time there. I went just for a few months, but I decided to extend as I really enjoy volunteering in different areas. And then after volunteering for a few months, I decided to travel around the country, and I visit Laos, Vietnam, Malaysia. But in Vietnam, I had an accident, and based on this, I had to return to Brazil. Once I was there, I had a surgery, and after this, while I was recovering, I started to use LinkedIn in order to look for job opportunities abroad. I was very open to pretty much any country, so I started to apply for different jobs, and I finally got a job in Ukraine. So I moved there in 2017. It was just like the first job I got, I just went for this. And then after I was there, I started to look for other opportunities. And that's when I found another job in Ireland. So I returned to Ireland in 2018 with a work permit. And this all based on LinkedIn. I found a job opportunity there, and I made many connections over this network profile. And then I managed to get my visa. In 2019, I moved to Germany, and then 2 years later, I moved to Portugal, where I'm currently based. And last year, I opened Musa Consulting with my partner, where we offer like IT solutions, but also IT recruitment, and we focus on international recruitment, especially for Brazilians as well. So we help Brazilians who want to leave the country to move abroad with a job opportunity. So today we're gonna talk about LinkedIn mainly, and we're gonna cover like an overview about LinkedIn, benefits of using this platform, how to enhance your profile on LinkedIn, tips to help you to get hires, best practice to find a job, and how to increase awareness on LinkedIn. So to start with, I'll just give you an overview on LinkedIn. I hope all of you have heard or have a profile already there. LinkedIn was created back in 2002, but launched in 2003. It has nowadays almost 930 million members, and it presents in over 200 countries around the world. So LinkedIn is the world's largest professional network. So it's the best place to be seen, and also to contact with recruiters, with companies, and so on. There are over 58 million companies listed on the platform, and 101 job submissions by second. So it's a lot of movement and presence of people on the platform using it actively. Every 8 minutes, people are hired on LinkedIn. So the benefits of using LinkedIn. I have highlighted a few of them here. As I mentioned previously, this is the largest business-oriented networking website that is focused completely on professionals. It's the best place to showcase your profile, your expertise, who you are, and get exposed to hiring managers and recruiters. Through LinkedIn, you can build trust, produce social proof of yourself, so you can always make connections, make comments, create articles, make yourself present, and show what kind of knowledge and expertise you have. You can also use LinkedIn to follow companies, updates, and groups. So it means you can always be aware of what the companies that you're a fan of or that you would like to work with or for are doing, and learn from them as well. You also have groups where, like oriented groups, let's say you're in the marketing area and you want to learn more about digital marketing, and you can go in a specific group about digital marketing and learn from other professionals. And this is also a research tool and job opportunity source. So you can use LinkedIn to find jobs. There are many jobs there listed. You can easily have access to this, and they have worldwide. So global job opportunities can be found on LinkedIn. It's a global networking, and important people are there. So you can find people like Bill Gates, for example, Richard Branson from Virgin Group, Indra Nooyi, which was the former chairman of Pepsi, and other people. So if you're not there yet, you should be definitely. So I'm going to tell you some tips about how to enhance your profile and improve your presence online. The first one would seem a bit basic, but it's just you should use the right photo on your profile. Some people don't even have a photo, which is like a big no-go, but you should have like the right picture. You should look professional, you should be straight, you should see more of your face than anything else. You should not be wearing sunglasses. It shouldn't be a selfie. You shouldn't be in a not very professional environment. It shouldn't be dark. So there are a few steps that you should follow in order to have like the correct photo. And this is the first impression that you're sending to recruiters or even to colleagues, to potential hiring managers. So it's very important. Even when you're not connected to the people, you should have your photo available to anyone who visits your profile or gets to see you as a suggestion of a connection. So this is very important. So dress up properly, pose for the photo, shoulders, head, and if you feel comfortable, smile, because you know it's always friendly and welcoming to whoever is seeing you. Another point is add a banner. So here it's just a screenshot of my profile. You can see my picture. As I was saying, I feel comfortable about smiling. If you don't, there's no problem, but you should still look professional and have a kind of right approach. Of course, if you work more in a creative kind of field where you can be with different kind of attirement, then there's no problem. You don't have to be so formal, but still you should look nice, and your face should be the main part of the photo. So let's say 70% of the photo should be of your face. And then here the banner. So lots of people don't use a banner, don't have a banner, but this is also important. And you can use the banner also to send a message, to show what are you doing or how you can help people. So that's why it's very, very relevant. You can use Canva, for example, to create a banner. You can just add information about like even 3 bullet points about your areas of expertise, or if you have a website, you can add the website to this, or just like a bit of branding like I did with the name of my company. Then the next, which might seem obvious, but it's not, use your name, not your nickname or anything else. So you should always use your first name and your last name. It's very important. And also you can get your mobile phone and also record how to pronounce your name correctly, because in different countries, different types of pronunciation. So you let people know how to pronounce your name correctly. And this is very good, but this is only possible in the mobile version of LinkedIn. So you can alter this on the desktop. Then the next very important part of your profile, the headline. So under your name, normally as a default, what you can see is your current position. So let's say I'm a sales executive. Here under my name, it would be Nathalya Musa, sales executive. That's the default of LinkedIn. But instead of using this, you better use this in a more intelligent, clever way. So you create an eye-catching headline. And how do you do that? You use key areas of your expertise to describe yourself, to describe what you can do. And then you just list them there. So whoever visits your profile, this is the first thing the person will see. So for example, in my case, international recruitment and outsourcing, international career, nursing and IT recruiter, project management. So you can see it's different areas. So it's a sum up of who I am, what I do, and how I can help people. And this people will be able to see not only when they visit my profile, but also when LinkedIn suggests me as a connection to other people. So even if we're not connected and LinkedIn suggests you, you will see this. So maybe you're going to see, oh, Nathalya Musa, I don't know her, but I'm actually looking for an international career strategist. So you can come and talk to me and look for me based on the headline. That's why it's very important. Then the next. Customize your URL. So URL is Uniform Resource Locator. This is basically the link of your profile. So normally people don't change it. They just leave it with many numbers as a default as well. I can show you later an example if we have time. But here is my one. I edit my URL and then I just typed my name. So Nathalya Musa, it's linkedin.com/Nathalya Musa. This is my link. So it's also easier to add to a CV if I want to apply for a job, for example. And it looks more professional. It already sends a message that I'm attentive to details and I'm organized and so on. So it's a small step, but it's also very relevant. In order to edit this, you just go on your profile and then you just edit public profile and URL, as you can see here, and you just type. If you have a more like common name, let's say Paulo Silva, for example, it might be the case that this URL is not available anymore, so you would have to add a dot or add another last name in the middle, or you have to do small changes, but it's important that you do this change, okay? Then you should also make sure that your profile is visible to the public. So what does it mean? It means that you can have a profile, but if you don't set it up to be visible, this means that people that are not connected to you won't be able to see you, won't be able to find you. If they cannot find you, then it means you cannot showcase to the world. You cannot use LinkedIn as its best. So it's important that you edit the visibility of your profile and then make yourself available to the world globally. Another point is make sure if you're looking for a job that you set up your profile to say that you're open to this and then that you want to find a job. Then you can show recruiters and others that you're open to work. So you're going to go in your profile. And then as you can see here, I want to, and then find a job. Then people will see that you are looking for a job. So any recruiter that visits your profile, for example, they will be aware that you are looking for a job. But for example, if you are currently working in a company and you don't want the people from this company to know that you're looking for a job, don't worry about that, because they will not see. Only recruiters will be able to see this information. So it's a good way to use LinkedIn. If you're not looking for a job, but you can provide services. So let's say I do consulting for an international career. So I can say I provide services, and then people can also contact me and then require a consultation or an appointment with me. And if you're hiring, you can also use LinkedIn for that. And then you just choose hire, and then you can post the position on LinkedIn. Then the next step, very important one, is to craft an interesting summary. So the summary you're going to see in the profile, you see the photo, you see the headline, and then under this you have a space where you can write a small text, and this is called summary. This summary should be a mix of a bit of personal, so who you are, what makes your eyes bright, what motivates you, and then you can talk about your career story, how you can help people, what you do, and so on. So here you can use specific keywords that will connect you to your industry. So the keywords on LinkedIn are very important because, especially for those looking for a job, when recruiters are looking for candidates, they use a software or they use a system where they will type keywords related to the job position they have available. So you have to make sure you have the keywords in your profile, and not only on your summary, but all over your profile. So the best thing to do is look for job descriptions of positions that you're interested in, and you feel that you have the right expertise, and check which words are always repeated everywhere. And these words you should make sure they are in your summary and in your profile on LinkedIn. Then here's some tips to build a strong profile. Connect your career with things you're passionate about. If you don't have professional experience, you can use this area to show what drives you and what kind of ambitions you have. If you have a job, you can explain your role in a simple way, share problems you solved, show your skills and work style. You can also use this area to show achievements. So what have you done different? What have you done that drive change in the company that you're working? So highlight your success, combine accomplishments, review your character, and then you can also share hobby and interests and volunteer work. So as I said, you can be a bit personal in the beginning of the summary, in the beginning of the text, and then you start to do a transition to your career and your areas of expertise. So then the next field on the profile would be the experience. So in your experience, you're going to talk about different roles that you had in your life, if you had already job experience, obviously. And then, ideally speaking, you should always make sure you link the role that you're playing with the company page on LinkedIn. So if I'm a sales executive in Apple, I should link my profile with the Apple company page profile on LinkedIn. This will give me, this will show people that it's reliable, that I really worked for them, and then they can also connect with other people from Apple based on the company page and so on. So it can be very useful. You can use between 3 and 5 bullet points for each job. Don't make it too extensive. Just summarize the key areas and the main tasks that you are playing, but also don't forget to use the keywords again in this area, in the experience. Yeah. And when you're describing what you did or what you do, if it's a current role, make sure you use action words like led, grew, reduced, saved, because this kind of words, they will show responsibility, they will show strengths, and then you can also let the audience know what you have accomplished and your results. So your achievements, basically. So you can have the bullet points, and under them, you can just write key achievements and then just say what you have done different. If you can do this in a measurable way, so you can use like percentage, time, everything to show really what you have done and how you drove change, this will be great. And then you can also record a video inside the editor. Go to upload and click record yourself, and then you can also talk about yourself and your experience. When highlighting your experience, make sure you are doing this in a very clear and concise way. As I mentioned, don't write too long sentences. and don't overwrite your achievements. You have to be like direct and short enough just to catch people's attention and make sure they are getting really the key information about you. You can also add any supportive information like images, PowerPoints, videos. So let's say you participate in an event like this. For example, this could go to your profile just to showcase and also as a social proof that you are really doing this kind of job, you know. If you have a flyer, you can use the flyer as well. Everything, any kind of content you have, you might add to LinkedIn. And then the education part, also very relevant. You should always list your highest academic level first, and then the lowest. So normally the latest first, and then the earliest. And the users who list their education appear in searches up to 17 times more often than those who don't. So if you don't use the education, if you don't fulfill this part, it means they will see your profile less, people on LinkedIn. Also include activities which you participate while attending school and university. Then the next part, next section would be license and certificates. This is an opportunity for you to show others your professional skills and the level of knowledge you have. So it's also a chance to increase your competitive edge by indicating your training. So for example, for people from human resource areas, they could have a certification from CIPD. If you're a project manager, you can use PSM. And if you need to prove that you speak like a good level of English, you could use IELTS, Cambridge, this kind of certificates. If you have any, you should also add them to LinkedIn. You can just write the certificates you have. Well, if you have an image, it's also nice to add this as a nice achievement that you have. You can even use this to make a post on LinkedIn and create engagement. And then again, social proof to show what kind of knowledge you have. Then the next section will be volunteer experience and accomplishment. Also very relevant because sometimes you can just cross the skills that you have applied while volunteering and then the skills that you would need in a potential job that you're looking for. So it can be very nice to have this kind of description. You should always describe the role and duties performed while you're volunteering. And you should also list languages that you can speak, projects you performed, courses you attended, everything, the more the merrier. So any kind of information that might be relevant, professionally speaking, you should add to LinkedIn. Also your interest. So there is an option on LinkedIn where you can follow companies that you are fond of. For example, in my case, a company that I like to know the trends and I like to know what they're doing is IBM, Oracle, Accenture, Microsoft, Deloitte. So I follow all of them, which means when they post an update or something, I'll be always receive this in my feed. So I'm also becoming aware of any changes they're doing or job positions they have and this kind of stuff. So let's say you're looking for a job and you're fascinated by Google and you really want to get a job in Google, what should you do? You should follow Google. We should be aware of any kind of notifications that come from them. And also you should network with people that are working for Google. You should start connecting with not only possible hiring managers, but also people that could be colleagues or people that are performing roles that you would like to have and then get some information about this. So you should use really LinkedIn in your advantage as much as you can. Then the next session will be skills and endorsements. In this area, this is an open area, so you can add different kinds of skills. The minimum is 5, but I recommend you to fulfill this with as many as possible and always skills related to your business field. So I use myself as an example. I would definitely add areas like international recruitment, English speaker, outsourcing, IT recruiter, So you should do the same. Use like, again, this is also keywords. So this will also help recruiters or potential connections to get to know you, to find your profile. And endorsement. So once you set up your skills, this means people, colleagues, they will be able to connect with you and endorse you. So let's say, for example, I work with Jody and he knows that I can speak English and he sees that one of my skills is English. So he would be visiting my profile and then he say, okay, Nathalya speaks good English. So what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna endorse her for this skill. And this is nice because then people start to see that you really, like, you're not just saying like you can speak English, you actually can, because you have other people saying the same about you. So this is very useful, and you should encourage your colleagues to endorse you as well. So don't be afraid to ask for endorsements. So all of you, when you want, you can visit my profile and endorse me as much as you want, okay? Feel free. Then members and recruiters will contact you 31 times more once you have the skills listed on your profile. And the reason for this, again, is because of these are going to be used as keywords. So they will find you easily when they see many keywords. They are looking for professionals, they will get to know you, they will visit your profile and they'll see, oh, okay, I like Nathalya's profile, I like her expertise, I'm going to talk to her, I'm going to ask her for a call. So that's how it works. And you should focus on the highlight endorsements that matter the most. So let's say you have already 15 years of experience. Is it relevant to say that you are a Microsoft Word user, like when you're already working for so long? No, because this is already irrelevant at this stage. Everyone knows that after 10 years working, you have already this knowledge. So you should use something more like specific about your area instead of this. So this is not relevant, put it aside. However, if you are fresh graduate, for example, then it's different. Then you can use more the basics, like you can say, yes, Microsoft Word, Microsoft Excel, and all the basics you want, because you are beginning, you're starting your career. Then, next session, recommendation. So recommendation is also a very, very important section. And the reason for that is, whatever I tell in my profile, when someone comes and visited and see the recommendation, they will see, oh yes, Nathalya is saying the truth. She is really good at this, this, and that, because I can read in the recommendations that people are actually confirming that she is everything she mentioned above. So this is very important. In the recommendation, people will write a statement endorsing you. And you, as a LinkedIn user, you should request people recommendations. You shouldn't be afraid. You shouldn't be embarrassed or anything. If you have a colleague or a former colleague that worked with you in a project, that worked with you in college, or that was your lecture in college, don't be afraid. Just request for a recommendation, because this will look really good on your profile. And this will be a way to anyone who visits you to see that you're just saying the truth and you are what you say you are. So it's a good way. You should aim to have at least 5 recommendations as a start, but this is just a start if you're not a user. The idea is that you're constantly asking for recommendations. So whoever you're dealing with currently, you should ask for recommendation, and people who you dealt in the past as well. Then I just listed here some best practice to find a job on LinkedIn. So on LinkedIn, when you are fulfilling your profile, you can see like when one section is missing, LinkedIn will signalize this to you and will say, oh, this is missing, you should fulfill this to become an all-star profile. Once you're all-star profile, this will be very helpful because, again, you get more visibility. If you're looking for a job, enable the open to work feature, which you do on your profile I showed you before. Expand your network. So LinkedIn is a network platform. This is the main goal of LinkedIn. It's a global platform that enables you to showcase to the world You can be in contact to anyone in any of the 200 countries, with any of the millions of people that you have here. So try to connect as much as you can, and do it wisely. Do it with people from the same area as you. Do this with people that work in companies that you would like to work, and so on. If you're just starting on LinkedIn and you don't have connections yet, one strategy you can use is to look for the lion on LinkedIn. So it means LinkedIn Open Network. When you type this in the search bar, lion, this means you're going to find people that are open to network. And this means they are open to connect to anyone that sends them a request. So you don't have to know them, they will connect with you. This is good in the beginning, because you should always aim to have at least 500 connections. This is the minimum, okay? So LinkedIn is a network and it's a web, so you should connect with as many people as possible. And the reason for that is, I'm connected with Sarah, for example, and Sarah is connected to Jordi, to Raquel, and to other people. Once Sarah and me interact on LinkedIn, it means that Jordi and Raquel and the other people that Sarah is connected with, they will be able to see what kind of interaction we had. So they will become aware of me, even if they are not my connection. So that's why it's very relevant that you have so many connections there, as many as you can. So in the beginning, focus on making as much connections as you can, and after this, and the quality, because then it will also become relevant for the algorithm on LinkedIn that you're making relevant connections. Request a referral to the position you are seeking in one of your connections work at the hiring company. So if I use myself as an example, when I got my job in Ireland a few years ago, what I did was I was using LinkedIn. I found a position that I said, okay, I'm the perfect match for this position, but I knew nobody in the company. So I started to check common connections. So I find the hiring manager, I find the human resource people. I didn't know anyone, but I had common connections with all of them. So what I did was I wrote to them, to their common connections, in order to ask them to refer me to the job position. And this worked, because then I got an opportunity to get a job interview. So it's very good and very useful. If we use it strategically, this can be very helpful. Then another point is to use the LinkedIn groups to connect and to learn. I mentioned this before about the groups. So you can use it to learn, but also to connect to relevant people in your area, and then also to look for jobs in the area. You can connect with the job poster and let them know that you're interested in the job. In some of the job positions, when you check on LinkedIn, you're going to get the job description, and you're also going to get the person, the hiring person. It can be human resource or the hiring manager. If it's already listed there, you can connect this person directly, and then you start the conversation with this person, which is amazing, because if you're not on LinkedIn, it's very hard to know who is hiring and to connect the person, even if you're not called for an interview. So again, use LinkedIn strategically, and you're going to get much more job opportunities. You might know as well that many job opportunities nowadays, they're not posted or advertised because of LinkedIn. So as the recruiters use this to look for candidates directly, what they do is, with the software, they use the keywords to find the people, and they don't even post the job position if they found already a few candidates to interview. So that's also why it's very important to get the right connections and network as much as you can. Another point is engage with content posts by the company you're interested in working for. So as I was saying, you want to work for Google, then engage with what they are doing. Engage with the people that work there, connect with them. But the engagement also works for, like, it works in general on LinkedIn, because once you engage, you're being seen. So if I post something and one of you like my post, then it means all your people that you're connected, they're going to see what I posted, so I'll be seen. But then for the algorithm of your own profile, this will also be good, because it will also help you to get more visibility. Then here you have manage jobs on LinkedIn. So it is possible that when you're looking for a job, you save job searches there. So you can check what kind of jobs you're looking for and then save based on the titles, on the job roles. And you can also use this to apply for jobs. There is also a button there which is called Easy Apply. So if you're really like constantly actively looking for a job, it's very simple, very intuitive. You just click an Easy Apply and then you just add your CV and then you apply for the role, and it's very practical, to be honest. If you see a job that might be interesting for a colleague, for a friend, you can also take the job directly and share. You can share via LinkedIn, share via WhatsApp. It's also very easy, and you can send a link to this person. So it's very good. And one thing that I advise you all to do if you are already on LinkedIn and you want to understand how efficient your LinkedIn is to visit this link, linkedin.com/sales/SSI, which means Social Selling Index. This is going to help you to understand how effective your LinkedIn profile is. So in this case, this was my profile. I have a 74 out of 100. So I'm in the top 1% industry at the moment. And then you can see on the 4 components of my score that I'm very good at establishing my professional brand, for example, and then even better in building a relationship, where you can see the blue bar is almost completely fulfilled. And then I'm not as good as in the engagement insights. And why is this? I haven't been very active lately. So it means I'm not liking, I'm not commenting, I'm not sharing, I'm not posting. And that's why my engagement goes lower. So it's necessary that you keep active in all the areas. So establish your professional brand. So what you do, who you are, find the right people. So connect with professionals from the same area or related area, engage with insights, and build relationships. So connect, talk to people, answer messages, and so on. And then here we have just a sum up of how to increase your chances of showing up on LinkedIn. So claim your URL. I showed you, you can edit on your profile, change your URL and use your name to do that. Write a professional headline, so remove your current, describe what you're doing, your expertise area, who you are. Add a profile in another language. So this is also very important. If you're looking for a job outside of Brazil, for example, your profile should be in English. That's the first thing. And not your second profile, but your primary profile. Because when the recruiters are looking for the keywords, it will be in English. So your primary profile should be in English. And then if you want, you can have a second profile in Portuguese. But the main one should be English if you're looking for jobs outside of the country. Or if you want in German or in another language, it's the same. So if your priority is find a job in German, but even in Germany, people would look for candidates with keywords in English. So English is really the most important language, I would say, on LinkedIn. Then a tip is write articles. The articles are going to help to show also your knowledge, to show your area of expertise. So I say, yes, I'm good at an international recruitment, international student recruitment, what kind of experience I have. Okay, I'm going to write about this. I'm going to let the world know how I see this field, what do I do, how can I help people. Just write about this. It doesn't have to be a book. It doesn't have to be very long. It just have to be precise and short, like 500 words would be fine. But if you can do this constantly, if you can do this even like once per week, would be amazing. If people are not really engaging, don't worry, in the end, it's also social proof for yourself, and it's also an exercise for you. It's a learning process and so on. So do it for yourself, and it will be very good, very helpful. Make sure your profile is visible, add former and current co-workers. So do this exercise, visit your profile often, and then check who you used to work with and who you're currently working with. Don't be afraid to ask these people for the recommendation, as I mentioned. Always when you add someone on LinkedIn, especially if someone that you really want to connect with, write a personal message. It's a very short message because you cannot write too much, but you should write something. Make it personal. Otherwise, what is the reason for a random person to accept your invitation, you know? Use keywords, ask for recommendation and endorsements, checking spelling and grammar. So also here I put some notes about hashtags. You can also use hashtags on LinkedIn. You can also do stories, engage with your audience, be active. The best thing to do is to download the app, the LinkedIn app on your phone, and use this as a normal social media. So all the time when you have like 2-3 minutes, open LinkedIn, then check what is going on there, what people are posting, what people are talking about, like, comment, share, post, keep active there. This will be very helpful. And then that's it. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. I have added here a QR code with my LinkedIn profile. So if you want to connect with me, it would be my pleasure. You can just scan the QR code. So I think that's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed. And if you have questions, feel free to ask me. Thank you so much for your time.